Alright, hello, welcome to this video. In this video, we're just going to briefly go over again my thoughts about the DEC and their thinning project here at David A. Sarnoff Preserve. And like I said, other parts of the preserve definitely needed it, but one of my favorite areas, I'm not going to say it's been ruined because maybe I was a little dramatic when I did the video, but, you know, when you used to, being in a beautiful place, looking like this, which is what it used to look like, and then going there and then seeing them, find the right spot, right picture here for this. So that's what it used to look like, and this is what it looks like now. So you can see they kind of, like, this is another example here. So we had three beautiful pines. This was such a beautiful scene over here. All right, yeah, maybe this crooked one here, maybe not. You can take that one out, but all these beautiful pines here. It was a beautiful spot, especially when you have three of them together like that. And then it just doesn't look as good. It doesn't look as nice. This wasn't an area that was in need of thinning. It was not an area that I felt, anyway, needed to be thinned. What they needed to do was control burns. So you can see all the trees they took out. So you compare this again. This was before. This is after. All right. And you can see they took out this pine over here on the left. You can see this one is gone. All right, and that was a real beauty, this one. I love this one on the left. And they killed that. See, it's gone now. All right, and let's see. I think they got rid of one of the little ones over here, too, as well. So, yeah, this is the example, the before and after. So this is before, this is after. And just showing you some more pictures here of from that day. You can see just the mess that they made to all the dead pine trees everywhere that they cut down. There was no need for a thinning in this particular area. And we're going to show you the area here on the, that's another thing I got to share with you in the community posts. But anyway, this is the area that we're talking about here. So I'm going to put a circle on it right here. Right here. So we're looking at the Google Earth view. So this is the area. Now, the area that they thinned it first. All right. So first we're going to start drawing. Go back to this. We're going to start drawing the area that they thinned it first. So originally, it was this area right here. All right. It's generally this area right here. All right. That's way too thick of a brush. Let's make the size smaller. It was this area right here that they thinned, and it needed to be thinned. All right. All right. This area was questionable. I think that area should have been left alone. But definitely this area should have been left alone. So when you look over here at this, you see the trees are already pretty far apart. They're pretty spaced apart. See here, they're kind of close together. But in this area, they're pretty spaced apart. There was no need for them to do what they did and ruin this particular area. It was a beautiful area, and it's going to take a while to recover from this. They killed a lot of beautiful pines, and in the name of forest health or whatever, they're still slow to act on southern pine beetle infestation. So this area also had a bit of an overgrown issue, and there were a lot of oaks in this area too as well. But this area did not need to be thinned. All right, so this is what made me so upset when I did that hike. So when I did that hike, I started off down here, and I love this area, man. This was like one of my favorite areas to go to in the park. I mean, again, just look at some of the old pictures here, and it's just beautiful, beautiful spot here, and it'll never be the same. This pine here is gone. They cut this pine down. There was no need for that. Unless it was infested with southern pine beetle, and somehow I doubt that. It's a beautiful spot. It will never be the same again after what they did. And it's such a mess what they've made in this area here. It used to be such a beautiful, beautiful spot, and now it just looks like this. It's just decimated. I mean, really. Really, look at all these pines they cut down. There was no need to cut down so many trees in this area. And I really would like to know their reasoning, and I'm going to reach out to them. I know what their reasoning is going to be, you know, restore forest health, but this area didn't need it. It was not overgrown. But again, is the media covering this? Is the news covering it? No, they're not covering it. So speaking of that, we're gonna look. I did some Google searches here on David A. Sarnoff Preserve, and I hit news, and nothing comes up. There was a prescribed burn in the East End Beacon. I think they did a prescribed burn here, and they are trying to do some more prescribed burns in the Pine Barrens, and that's important. And so, in addition to the thinning, they need to definitely do these controlled burns, because if you just do the thinning, it's not enough. All right. So, and there's another article here. They burned approximately 386 acres, which is a joke. So, they don't really have a anything like New Jersey has, and you know they are doing more controlled burns, but it's just not enough. All right. So they. You know, look at this. They've only burned 2,078 acres since 2004. That is not enough at all. So they have the money to go in and cut down all these trees, but they don't have the money to do proper controlled burns. That's what really annoys me more than anything, I think. You know, I understand the need for management in the Pine Barrens, obviously, especially in light of the southern pine beetles. We have to make it, unfriendly to them, but it's important, I think, more than anything, that we have these controlled burns. I mean, just looking at some of the devastation here that they did here. I mean, they just made such a mess. And they just left all these pine trees that they murdered over here. You can see more images of it here. And then look at this picture here. You'll see, look at that. There's a pine with red needles on it. So there's an infestation right there of southern pine beetle. In fact, another one right there, all right? So this isn't stopping them, because you have to have the fires too. The DEC spends, this is a poor allocation of resources. The amount of money that was spent on all this cutting, and I'm sure it was very expensive. You could have done a controlled burn and it would have accomplished what you needed to do, and it would have been cheaper and it would have been better for the Pine Barrens. But instead they did this. I don't know what they have to gain by this. I don't know if they're contractors that are coming in and getting sweetheart deals for this. I don't know. But I'm very wary and very suspicious of these thinning projects going on right now in the Pine Barrens, and I think they need to be reviewed. So I'm going to reach out to the DEC on this, and we'll be making another video about this when I have the chance. Thank you for watching.